Good evening and welcome to our talk on gut health. I'm Louisa Bishop from Thrive and Shine, and I'm joined by Danielle McCurdy, who's also from Thrive and Shine.
Hello.
Thrive and Shine is an online wellness hub, and we basically use whole food nutrition and easy solutions to allow people to take charge of their health. So today we decided to talk about gut health. So I will begin the presentation. So gut health, the key to rebuilding your health. So Thrive and Shine, as I've already said, we are an online health hub where we use certain products that are all whole food nutrition to allow people to take control of their health again. We also have a business side. We'll talk to you about either of those at a later date. We're going to focus on gut health today. So today I'm going to talk about health today and all the confusion that arises with health today and what affects our health today. And then we're going to talk about the importance of the gut, what is leaky gut, and how to boost your gut health. So Danielle will also be maybe talking a bit at the end, just to if there's anything that I've missed, because it's quite a large topic. So health today. Sorry, I've spelled health. Health today. I think health today is extremely confusing for people. If you turn on the TV and you're listening to health articles, one week they'll be saying you should be doing this diet or you should be doing that diet, and that's the key to weight loss and health. And then you turn on next week and that's not the key to health. And I think it's very, very confusing for people. And I think this means that people end up giving up on their health because they don't know what to do, quite simply, because it's just such a confusing message, which is why I'm so passionate about what I do, and we all are Thrive and Shine, and we're all about giving easy, quick solutions to people's health that are scientifically proven. So what does affect our health today? So today, if you compare today with 50 or even 100 years ago, we are at a health deficit for sure. We have a huge amount of toxins in our environment that come from all sorts of places. You know, they're all around us. They're in the air. They're on everything. You know, within our plastics. The quality of the air is so bad, and the quality of our water is so bad. The quality of our food is so bad, and we're just constantly bombarded with all of these toxins and pesticides and herbicides and molds, and it makes our body more and more stressed and makes our health decline as a result. We also then have the toxins in our food, which we're ingesting. You know, the food today is not what it was 50, 100 years ago. It's far, far less nutrient rich, and our water is not as good as it was as well. So our body has basically been attacked from all angles, and due to this, our health is in decline. And so it's about, obviously, we need to be eliminating as much as we can the toxins from our environment and our food and our water, but we also need to be preparing our bodies so they can fight off those toxins as well, because unless you live in the middle of the Amazonian rainforest, then you're going to have to deal with these toxins anyway. So why is gut health so important? Well, quite frankly, it's where your body gets the nutrients that it needs from its food. So without that, your body will not flourish and survive and, you know, be at its optimum health. About 90% of our nutrients go out into our body through the small intestine. So unless your small intestine is working well, then it won't be able to get the nutrients from the food that it needs. It's also the home of your immune system, as over 80% of our immunity comes from our gut. This is in the microbiome in your gut, so the good bacteria. Basically, in your gut, you've got good bacteria and bad bacteria, and you want your gut to have more good bacteria than bad bacteria. And the good bacteria acts like sort of little soldiers within your gut, making sure that your gut is staying healthy and that it's attacking any foreign invaders that come in. Because obviously your gut is having to deal with everything that's ingested into your body. So the gut is really the key to rebuilding your health, because if your gut isn't working properly, then the rest of your body can't work properly. And this has been get out in all areas of your body that you may not relate to your health, to whatever's going on. So your eczema will be related to your gut. Your autoimmune disease will be related to your gut. Your asthma, everything will be related to your gut, because if your body is not getting the nutrients that it needs, then it cannot be as healthy as it needs to be. And your gut is also where your body expels the waste products from your body. So it needs to be, that needs to be working really, really well, and you need to be aware of what is coming out and how long that is taking, and sort of the quality of what's going on in your gut. And looking at your stools is a really good way to do that, as disgusting as it is. So leaky gut is something that's a bit of a buzzword at the moment, and so I'm here today to talk about a little bit about what it is. We are not doctors. We have studied in the field of nutrition. So today we're just going to give an overview. And if you have any more questions about this, you can obviously come to us afterwards. But basically, leaky gut is where the gut becomes more permeable, allowing things to pass into the bloodstream that would normally. So how do you know if you possibly have leaky gut? Well, possible symptoms are bloating, gas, poor transit time on stools. Your stools should ideally be, your food should be coming out within about 12 to 24 hours. Any less than 12 hours, it's not absorbing into your body properly. Any more than 24 hours, then you are, you're getting toxins building up within your body, because it needs to be coming out within that time. So that's something you need to be aware of. A good way to test that is to either have some beetroot or some sweet corn. And you can then time, once you've had one of those things, you can time and then check next time to see how long that is taking to come out. That's a really quick, easy way to work out your transit time with your stools. Another thing could be discomfort after eating. This could be because you've possibly had foods, excessive tiredness, brain fog, poor immunity, autoimmune diseases, skin diseases like eczema, psoriasis. Pretty much anything that's going on in your body will be affected by the gut. And if you get your gut health sorted, then these symptoms should get better. So this is a picture of leaky gut. So basically, normally in your small intestine, your food will be going through, that's coming through your stomach, it'll be going through, and little particles that need to go into your body will be able to pass through that gut wall. What happens with leaky gut is it gets irritated by certain things. So gluten could be one, dairy could be one, prescription medications can also be one. Antibiotics can cause havoc with your gut because it strips your gut of the good bacteria, and not a lot of people know that you should be then repopulating the gut using supplements or foods afterwards to make sure that you've got a healthy gut. So for whatever reason it happens, your gut, the holes where your nutrients go into your bloodstream become inflamed and they get bigger. So this means that the larger particles can get into your bloodstream. It shouldn't be there. Your bloodstream they then get attacked because they're a foreign invader, and this then causes havoc around the body. And it's simply because that gut wall is leaking things into your system that shouldn't be there. So what can you do about it? Well, there's quite a few things you can do, and the good thing is about health is that because gut is the key to health, once you've restored your gut, a lot of other problems will then go away, and you will start to feel much, much better. So to do this, you can take out the stresses. So the normal stresses are gluten. Sadly, gluten causes havoc in your diet. I say sadly because we all love gluten. It makes our bread all delicious. It makes our cakes delicious. It makes all these lovely things great. But unfortunately, because it was modified by man, it basically doesn't work within our systems anymore, sadly. So gluten is normally the number one thing to take out. And there's so many gluten-free options now. I've just done 10 days off gluten. I managed to get gluten-free pasta, gluten-free bread. Because so many people have an issue with it now, there are so many other options for gluten. So if you suspect any gut issues, you definitely need to take gluten out for a period of time. Dairy is another one that causes a huge amount of issues. Again, I think back in the day when people were eating raw dairy, it was quite a healthy food then. But now, because it's pasteurized and the state of, you know, the cows and everything, there's so many hormones and antibiotics in it, it's just not a healthy food. So quite often, especially if there's skin complaints, acne, psoriasis, things like that, and definitely any respiratory complaints like asthma, you need to be trying to take dairy out. I would take them out for a minimum of 21 days and then reintroduce and see what happens. Don't reintroduce them both at once. If you're taking gluten and dairy out, reintroduce one at a time and see what happens. And I'd leave 4 days in between introducing one from the other. A good way to also see what might be stressing your body out is to do a food diary. I always tell people if they have concerns about their health or they're looking to improve their health, do a food diary for a week so we can see what they're taking into their body, what could be causing problems, and then we can think about, you know, how they feel when they've eaten that food. Do they feel energized or do they feel exhausted? Does it make them feel good or bad? The body is very good at telling you normally what it does like and what it doesn't like, and it's a case of having to listen to your body. So once you've taken those stresses out of your body, you need to then rebuild the gut. So to do this, you replace the good bacteria. This can be done with using foods that contain probiotics, which is the good bacteria. So they can be kimchi. If you're fine with dairy, you can use yogurt. We also, in our house, we use dairy-free yogurt. We use a coconut yogurt that has the good probiotics in. There's also kombucha, I'm saying that wrong, miso, sauerkraut, kefir. There's lots and lots of sort of fermented foods that have the good bacteria in that you can use. And then you need to be rebuilding your intestinal wall. This can be done through broths. Bone broth in particular, if you're not vegetarian or vegan, is quite good. It's got the collagen in that helps to rebuild the walls. Or taking any sort of collagen supplement would be good as well. Aloe vera can also be good for rebuilding the intestinal walls if you not wanting to do a bone broth. You then need to be putting the goodness back into your body, so flooding your body with lots of goodness, lots of from fruits and vegetables and berries, basically all the good things that we know our body needs that help to rebuild the body. We also need to reduce stress, which can be easier said than done, I know, but stress can cause absolute havoc, especially if you're eating when you're stressed. So one way to reduce stress can be to do breathing, so breathing from your stomach, so the deep breathing. So I remember listening to a talk, and it was this mum, and she'd gone to see this nutritionist, and he then figured out that she was really stressed every time she ate. She was trying to lose some weight. So she had 3 children under 5. So trying to cook the food while they were all playing around was quite stressful, obviously. So by the simple action of her just doing some breathing as she was stirring the foods and sort of trying to focus on that, she actually managed to lose the rest of the weight because she wasn't as stressed. She brought her stress levels down by the time she sat down to chew the food. She was more aware of her stress levels as well and make sure she was trying to reduce them. Another thing is to chew your food better. Ideally, we chew it until it was completely liquid. That's quite hard to do, I know. But most people on average take 4 chews, chew their food 4 times, which isn't that good. And this is a big part of the digestive process. You know, this is where it's mixing with the enzymes in your mouth and your saliva. So it's really, really important to be chewing the food as much as we can. Another reason, if you're looking at weight loss, is if you're spending longer on eating your food, then you get fuller, and it takes about 20 minutes for your stomach to fill. And you know, if you're at a restaurant and you've eaten your food quickly, and the waiter comes around and says you want dessert, you're like, oh, okay, yeah, that's quite good. That sounds like a good idea because you're not quite full. By the time the dessert comes, 15 minutes later, you're really full, but you still eat it anyway because it looks good. So chewing your food better will also help with the weight loss. if that's what you're looking to do. And to reduce prescription drugs where possible. Prescription drugs can cause havoc with your gut. So obviously some people need to be on them, but if you can reduce them and use other things, then that's highly recommended as well. So how to keep a gut healthy long term? So as we've talked about, putting the good bacteria back into your gut on a regular basis by eating probiotic-rich foods or taking a supplement. There's lots of different strains of probiotic supplements. So basically go to your local health shop, because there's lots of different brands and we're all based around the world. So go to your local health shop and get advice from them on what is the best one for you. But ideally it would have between 4 and 20 billion bacteria in it. So doing that, so making sure that your gut is filled with good bacteria. Rotating your food, so to be making sure that if you're staying off gluten, for example, that maybe one day you're having potato, one day you're having rice, one day you might be having gluten-free pasta, one day you might be having quinoa, one day you might be having lentils, to make sure you're having a good variety of foods in your diet and you're not sticking to the same things, because that can cause problems as well. Eating a whole food diet, which is rich in a variety of colours. We use whole food supplements at Thrive and Shine that really help with this and give you a huge variety every day, but also to be making sure you're getting those foods within your diet. The problem with our food today is that the quality is not where it used to be, because of several reasons. One, because of the soil where it's been grown, and secondly, because it's picked before ripeness. The problem with this is a lot of the nutrition goes in at the ripening stage, and especially the phytonutrients, which are really great for our health. But because we want it to be transported to the local supermarket and for it to all be looking shiny, then it's picked before that process can happen. So the quality of the food we're getting now is not where it was 1,500 years ago, where we'd be eating locally and it would be picked fresh or picked from the ground or be grown in our garden. So it's really important to be getting quality in the food as well, organic where you can. I know that's not always possible, but yeah. Exercise, this really helps with detoxing the liver, and it doesn't really matter which exercise. The one you'll do is the best one. So whether that's walking or running or cycling or swimming or a class or going to the gym, whichever it is, just to be doing a little bit of exercise is really helpful to help the liver to detox. Another thing on that subject, you could do dry brushing. That's really good for the lymphatic system, for getting that moving, if you're trying to detox as well. Another great thing to do first thing in the morning is to have a warm lemon water, and to have this when you wake up. It needs to be warm, or at least room temperature, because once it's room temperature, it can be absorbed by your body. Otherwise, it needs to heat it up first before it absorbs. The lemon is great for waking up your digestive system. It's also got lots of vitamin C in, and as it says below, the vitamin C helps to build collagen on the intestinal walls, which will help with your gut health as well. So starting your day with that is definitely a great way to go. And using a broth, if you can, to help the goodness into your gut, whether it's a bone broth or a vegetarian broth or veggie broth, it doesn't really matter. Ideally, if you're hoping to rebuild, and if you are okay with using meat products, then get the bone broth. This can be bought. You can get organic bone broths where you can just make them up every day. They come in a powdered form, and I think that's a really good way, because they're quite a faff to make, especially if you're doing bone broth, and it just means you've got an easy solution for it. So yeah, the bone broth, if you can get that into your gut. Also, it's a really nice way. Any broth is a really nice way to get lots of nutrients in easily, without your body having to do lots of digestion. So it's a really good way if you're trying to recover from something to get goodness into your body. And the last thing is to listen to your body. You know your body best. So if you're eating something, even if it's healthy and you're eating something and it doesn't feel right, then it's probably not right with your system. So make sure you listen to your body and be aware of you know, what your body needs. And yeah, I think that's it. So thank you for listening. Like I said, that's just a brief overview. If you have any issues that you'd like to talk further, then just go back to the person who sent you this video. Or if you'd like to know more about the products that we recommend and use, then also come back to the person. And if you're interested in the business side, then please come back to the person. We could share more information with you. But thank you very much. And we will get back to you soon with more videos.